What a brutal episode. I mean, if you watch the episode, especially towards the end and the middle, it was very brutal with because, you know, we have to see a bunch of criminals pretty much kill each other to, get a spot on the ship. And especially when we saw Gabimaru, kill those groups of criminals, it was very brutal. And before that, I want to talk about the actual little details in the episode. So one thing that I really want to talk about was the beginning. So this episode, we learn pretty much a lot of backstory and who she is as a character. I forget her name, but the main female character, I'll say that, the executioner female. And we get that her dad was this previous executioner, but he was pretty much he was like her in the uniform, but he had this way with the sword when he beheaded someone, it was just like you even saw it was very effortlessly and very clean, I guess. Pretty much like instant death, I guess you would say. Very, very brutal, I guess, or clean. And we get, the backstory on her that, she's part of this Yamada clan that's, this execution or whatever, where they, raise and birth executioners. And I guess she was one of them. And it's very clear that she's not suited for this job. You can see her being every time she has to kill someone, she kind of hesitates for a second because she has to she can't deal with the weight of their death on her hands. You even saw throughout the episode, she in her monologue, she kind of questions herself, is this even the right thing to do? Do they even deserve to die or something? Always hesitating, and her companion kind of noticed that too. A person who worked with her father, and now he's working with his daughter. And so he sees that she's hesitation, and he tells her, she's not suited for this job, and normally an executioner's daughter is supposed to, live quietly in their mansion or something. And we get to why she turned to executioner. Basically, she was kind of led there. She thought that was the only way for her to live, because we saw her living conditions. It wasn't really the optimistic or the way that a child should be raised. So obviously from her upbringing, she thought that it was the only way that she could live and make a living pretty much, and kind of replace her father, not completely replace him, but his swordsmanship, how it's clean and with no effort pretty much. And she took on that role, but she kept on hesitating because she can't really deal with the burden of death on her hand. And we see that throughout the, I guess, beginning of the episode. And I feel like that gives development or gives depth to her character, because it shows that she hasn't really found what she's meant to do in this life. It's clearly not being an executioner, and we might see that character development resolve towards the end. Maybe she becomes something else that she's meant to be, or something like that. But after the whole death whatever thing, we get introduced to multiple characters that will accompany Gabimaru to this island, and some of the characters that piqued my interest were there was just Oiran that was going to Konoichi. We saw that really buff guy with the blonde hair who killed the person first go. This giant of a guy going, and other people go. So I would definitely keep my eye on those other criminals and just see what they have in store or plan with once they get on the island. But yeah, for now I think that was a pretty cool episode. Like I said, very brutal. We got some character development, or we saw her character being, I guess you could say, not developed, but we can see that there's much development in her character, so character depth. We saw some other very flashy characters that are a part of the series, and honestly I'm just excited to see what they'll do, the criminals, or what will happen on the island. Like, what will the criminals do once they're together in solitary on the island with their executioners or their monitors. But yeah, overall I think this episode was pretty good. We got a lot of background, a lot of information of who's going and what's the situation. And really quick before I end this, I guess, video, I want to talk about the Shogun for a bit. So we saw like a kind of glimpse of him, and he's the one that ordered like, oh, you guys have to pretty much brawl this out to the death. And you could see that he was amazed. Like, he was saying, oh, we can't get this kind of entertainment in this day and age. And he's clearly excited to see these guys fight to the death. So I don't know, to me that's very suspicious as to why he would be excited. Like, I don't know, just more questions about his character. And on top of that, one of the, not executioners, but one of the bodyguard was like, oh, there's no need to do this. Like, you could, without this, like, you could pick these criminals, and then the rest, like, it could be beheaded. Like, there was no need for this, bro. But obviously the Shogun ordered it, so his word is absolute. So whatever he says goes. So I guess I had to carry on with the route, but it really does come into questions like his character and his motives and everything for that. But overall, I think it was a pretty good episode, and it definitely gets me excited for what comes next, I guess. But I think I'm just gonna end it there. Please leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye.